there have been certainly, some changes that will be implemented into the longer term across the board. And while I'm not a litigator, we're definitely seeing this even from a transactional perspective, and in things like how the regulators are interacting, how we're able to interact with them. There's an almost more human element in the exercise of their discretions now than I think we had previously. Although I guess the other side of that coin is, almost an overstep into matters that are purely commercial. So I think there will be some shift around that in terms of how we move forward, but it's kind of a bit of a watch.
Yeah, that's really interesting comments, Tanisha, because you've been able to make that comment from on the ground, from your own experience. There was an article, I don't know whether you've had time to pick it up yet, but there was an article in this morning's Australian coming out of Gilbert and Tobin, which it was entitled Pandemic Offers Lessons in Better Governance. And one of the points that they do make in that is that there really had been, and I'll quote this, it says, the emergence of a more collaborative ecosystem between regulators and the private sector in response to the crisis, which is the very thing I think you've just said. And it's talked about, the main regulators, ASIC, ASX and the ACCC, all swiftly moved to relax technical constraints on the ability of corps to raise capital and the like. So, and of course, there was a lot of sort of very responsive work in the areas, for example, of insolvency. Sort of increasing the minimum amount for which you could put in a letter of demand, sort of a notice of demand, 6 months rather than 21 days, things like that, which I think would have had a huge impact in keeping businesses afloat. Now, what's going to happen in a few months' time is the big uncertainty that I think we're presently living with. And there's a lot of talk in the commercial newspaper sectors about the zombie companies and the like, but we're yet to see that. And I think what's happening here is very positive, and we can keep at that level. It'll be tough, but I think we might be able to sort of just stay on top of a very difficult time.